Jack was an ordinary worker in the warehouse of a large corporation. Every morning, he woke up at 6 a.m., grabbed his worn-out bag, and caught the bus to the warehouse located on the outskirts of town. The warehouse was the backbone of the company's operations, yet its workers were often overlooked, silent heroes. Jack was one of them. He was always the first to arrive, unlocking the warehouse doors and getting straight to work. His tasks included organizing shelves, checking inventory, and preparing shipments on time. Despite his dedication, he was invisible to the upper management. While the executives held lavish meetings in their luxurious offices, Jack and his team were constantly under pressure. Shouts like, "This shipment needs to go out immediately, or there will be chaos," were a daily occurrence. One day, a major shipment was delayed. The mistake had been caused by poor planning from the managers, but all the blame fell on Jack. The warehouse supervisor, Mr. Rogers, scolded him in front of everyone. "If you can't handle such a simple task, why are you even here?" Jack silently accepted the blame. At that moment, his co-workers glanced at him, but no one dared to stand up to the supervisor. Jack swallowed his anger and went back to work, knowing that defending himself would change nothing. But Jack's story wasn't just about this job. Every lunch break, he would pull out an old, worn notebook and jot something down. His co-workers often noticed him writing in it, but never asked what it was. The sentences Jack wrote were simple but powerful. "One day I will sit in the top office of this company." Jack had dreamed of this since he was young, to start his own business and prove his worth to everyone. For now, he kept that dream quietly inside and waited patiently for his chance. The corporate world was far removed from Jack's daily grind in the warehouse. Yet, unknown to everyone, the company's founder, Mr. Harris, had recently returned to observe his creation. A quiet man in his 70s, Mr. Harris had built the company from scratch but stepped away years ago, leaving it in the hands of new leadership. Now, rumors of declining morale and questionable management practices had drawn him back. Unlike others, Mr. Harris didn't announce his presence with fanfare. Instead, he dressed as an ordinary worker, blending in seamlessly. Nobody suspected his true identity as he wandered through the warehouse and office spaces, observing the day-to-day operations. One day, while walking through the warehouse, Mr. Harris noticed Jack diligently organizing shelves. He paused to watch as Jack carefully checked each item on his clipboard, his focus unwavering despite the chaos around him. What caught Mr. Harris's attention most was Jack's interaction with a struggling co-worker. The man had dropped a heavy box, and Jack immediately rushed over to help, offering encouragement instead of criticism. "Thank you, Jack," the co-worker said, relief evident in his voice. Jack simply smiled and returned to his work, unaware that he had been noticed. Over the following days, Mr. Harris continued his observations. He noted the sharp contrast between the warehouse workers' dedication and the arrogance of the upper management. Executives strutted around the office floors, speaking in condescending tones and ignoring the people who kept the company running smoothly. Mr. Harris saw it all: the moments of kindness, like Jack's quiet assistance, and the moments of toxicity, like a manager berating a worker over a minor mistake. His heart sank as he realized just how far the company's values had strayed from what he had envisioned. As he jotted down his thoughts in his own notebook, Mr. Harris made a decision. It was time to act, but first he needed to learn more. The time had come. Mr. Harris had seen enough to confirm his suspicions. The company he had built was suffering under the weight of arrogance and poor leadership. It was time to reveal himself and make things right. One morning, a company-wide meeting was announced. The employees were abuzz with speculation as everyone gathered in the large conference room. Jack, who had been summoned along with the others, sat quietly at the back, unsure why he had been included in such a formal meeting. The room fell silent as Mr. Harris entered, now dressed in an immaculate suit that left no doubt about his authority. The managers exchanged confused glances, clearly not recognizing him at first. Mr. Harris cleared his throat and began to speak. "Good morning, everyone. For those who don't know me, I am William Harris, the founder of this company." The room erupted into whispers. The managers, particularly Mr. Rogers, looked visibly uncomfortable. Mr. Harris continued, his tone steady but firm. "For the past few weeks, I have been observing how this company operates. What I've seen has been both enlightening and deeply disappointing. While there are hardworking employees like Jack," he gestured toward Jack, who froze in shock, "there are also individuals in leadership positions who have failed to uphold the values this company was built on." Mr. Rogers stammered, "Mr. Harris, I assure you—" "Save it," Mr. Harris interrupted. "I've seen enough. Jack, please stand up." Jack hesitated before rising, his heart pounding. "You, Jack, represent what this company should be about: dedication, integrity, and respect for others. Starting today, you will no longer be working in the warehouse." Jack's face turned pale. Was he being fired? "You," Mr. Harris said, his voice filled with conviction, "will be the new operations manager." The room fell into stunned silence. The managers looked on in disbelief as Mr. Harris detailed the immediate changes he planned to implement. The changes Mr. Harris implemented were swift and transformative. The toxic leaders were removed from their positions, and Jack stepped into his new role as operations manager with humility and determination. For the first time, the employees felt a sense of hope and fairness returning to their workplace. Jack's first days as a manager were not without challenges. He faced skepticism from some who doubted his abilities, and he had to navigate the complex dynamics of managing a team. But Jack approached his role the same way he had approached his work in the warehouse, with integrity, hard work, and an unwavering respect for others. One afternoon, as Jack walked through the warehouse, he noticed a young worker struggling with a heavy load. Without hesitation, Jack stepped in to help. The worker looked at him in awe, saying, "You're the manager now. You don't have to do this." Jack smiled. "I'll never forget where I started. We're all part of the same team." Word of Jack's leadership spread quickly. Employees appreciated his approachable demeanor and his willingness to roll up his sleeves. Productivity increased, and the workplace culture began to shift. Months later, the company hosted a celebratory event to honor its revitalization. Mr. Harris took the stage to address the crowd. "This company has always been about innovation and values," he said, "and people like Jack remind us of what truly matters." Jack was invited to the stage, where he was met with a standing ovation. He took the microphone, his voice steady but filled with emotion. "I started here as a warehouse worker, and I never thought I'd be standing here today. This isn't just about me. It's about all of us working together to build something better." As the applause echoed through the room, Jack looked out at the crowd, feeling a profound sense of fulfillment. His journey from the shadows of the warehouse to the spotlight of leadership was a testament to perseverance, integrity, and the power of justice. From that day forward, the company thrived under Jack's leadership, becoming a beacon of innovation and respect. For Jack, it wasn't just about success. It was about proving that kindness and hard work could truly change the world. And that's the end of our story. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to leave a like and share your thoughts in the comments below. Also, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss our next story. Take care, and we'll see you in the next one.